Hello, you're right on time for Maisha Prime News. Thank you so much for choosing Maisha Television. My name is Rida Chebet Karim. Welcome. The 2022 election may spring yet more surprises, with experts saying that ethnic issues which have traditionally played an important role in Kenyan politics may no longer carry the weight they once did in the country. With 44 tribes, the battle to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta is now intensifying a few months to the general elections, with the main contenders being the ODM chief Raila Odinga, Deputy President William Ruto, ANC boss Musalia Mudavadi, and Kalonzo Musyoka Bushebi Jr. With more on 2022 politics.
From the promises of free monies,
kuanzia mwaka ujao kila jamii ambaye hawana mapato watakuwa kila mwezi anapata shilingi 6,000 kutoka kwa serikali,
to the raising of hope for job opportunities for the youth.
Tumekubaliana mpango ni bottom up. Tunakubaliana ni bottom up. Na chama ni UDA. Na form ni hustler.
Politicians are outdoing themselves in quest to win election votes come August 2022. With elections on the horizon, the topic of who will win presidential election has returned to the political arena, and several politicians including ODM leader Raila Odinga, UDA party candidate William Ruto, and ANC party leader Mudavadi, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula, among others, have topped the list of presidential aspirants presenting themselves before the Kenyan electorate seeking the top job in the country. On 10th, ODM leader in a colorful parade at Kasarani through the Azimio la Umoja movement officially declared himself a candidate after months of speculations.
On this day of December 10th, 2021, I, Raila Amolo Odinga,
his announcement pitches him against his main opponent William Ruto. Raila Odinga stands to make his 5th bid for Kenya's presidency next year's election, ended months of suspense following a surprise truce with his former foe, President Uhuru Kenyatta. The announcement on Friday at a Nairobi stadium packed with political bigwigs and thousands of supporters followed speculation that the 76-year-old, who was the face of Kenya's opposition for decades, had struck a power-sharing deal with Kenyatta to secure his backing for the top job. On the other hand, Deputy President William Ruto is reported to have a double-digit lead over opposition leader Raila Odinga in the presidential race, according to an opinion poll. Ruto leads Odinga by 38% to 23% among likely voters, Nairobi-based pollster Tifa Research said in an emailed statement. About a quarter of respondents are yet to decide who they are likely to back, while another 10% were unwilling to reveal their preferred presidential pick. He will face a difficult fight against his new and much younger rival, Deputy President William Ruto, who was previously promised Kenyatta's backing for the top job in exchange for his support. Ruto has positioned himself as a leader looking to upend the status quo and stand up for the hustlers trying to make ends meet in a country ruled by dynasties. The 54-year-old Ruto initially fought alongside Odinga in 2007 when police crackdowns on protesters and clashes that turned into ethnic attacks killed more than 1,000 people in the post-election violence, eventually prompting a new constitution to devolve power. Ruto teamed up with Kenyatta in 2013.
People have seen today Mount Kenya voting as one block. Kirinyaga has voted unanimously. Other counties have voted unanimously. I said it before, I will say it again. You can rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. Bottom line, they will still vote for their own people. They know what is good for the region and they will stand with the region.
The Kenyatta and Odinga families have dominated Kenyan politics since independence in 1963. Although Kenya's Jubilee Party has not officially declared its backing for Odinga, several senior party figures attended Friday's convention, including Vice Chairman David Murathe, underscoring the president's support. However, the race for State House is not for Raila and Ruto alone, since heightened political activities by One Kenya Alliance OKA principles have become of major interest to supporters and opponents alike.
Resources of the Republic of Kenya. Who will you trust with the education system? Who will you trust with healthcare? Who will you trust with your family?
Despite the common understanding of forging ahead as a team, the OKA principals remain generally divided on whether or not to team up with Raila and rally behind his presidential bid as allegedly requested by President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Baba, mwaga risasi zako hapo, sisi tunamwaga zetu hapo, basi tunaona mbele itakuwaje.
Mimi nitakuwa mfupi sana kwa maneno, kwa ajili mambo mengi sana nimewaambia, and I have been around for some times, na ninataka kuwashukuru kwa ajili wengi mumeanza kuona.
While Mudavadi and Wetangula remain rigid on the Raila factor, with parliamentarians allied to their parties leading attacks on the former premier, Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi seem to be more accommodating. Alongside new OKA member, former cabinet minister Cyrus Jirongo, the duo dissuaded their colleagues against antagonizing a possible ally.
Na mzee wetu Raila Amolo Odinga, yeye ni kiongozi ambaye tunaweza tegemea.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambujabi Jr.
Leaders drawn from West Pokot County have applauded the national government through the Affirmative Action Fund that saw the funding and eventual construction of Akiriamet Bridge that has for decades been a pain point to the people of Sigor. The bridge that has seen both livestock and people swept away due to floods will also ease border patrols in the region.
Ninashukuru kontrakta ambaye ameshughulikia hii kazi, na hii pia ni dhihirisho tosha kwamba kumbe local contractors wako na uwezo ama ability ya kufanya kazi wa aina hii. Wakati wa West Pokot wote popote mlipo, tuweke amani na majirani wetu, tuweke amani kati yetu, na tuwe na sherehe nzuri wakati huu wa Krismasi na wakati huu wa likizo hii. Niliweka Kajarpot hospitali, nikaweka hapa Creek hospitali, nikaweka maji sehemu ya Kaptarin na sehemu nyingine hapa chini. Sasa haijakwisha na mabarabara kadhaa ambayo tuliweka.
And women leaders and human rights defenders in the North Rift region have called for the involvement of the boy child in the conversation against gender-based violence in the region. The activists say discrimination against the boy child is negating the war on gender-based violence.
And at the moment right now, I'm a bit concerned about what is happening. Every other day we wake up to news of maybe a man killing the family, things like that. And that is why we've come up.
You can tap into that group, that segment of men and boys to champion the rights of violence against women and girls.
A section of lawmakers have been feted for their outstanding performance by fronting pieces of legislation and statements aimed at championing the interest of the common man. The recognition of MPs and senators comes amid claims that legislators are toothless and not ready to fight for the rights of Mwananchi after the handshake between the ODM leader Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta, an initiative that paralyzed opposition on the floor of the House.
But I did not know that Zalendo was really recognizing, people who have worked especially hard. Now, for this award that I have received, the one on health, it is an issue that I brought, a motion I brought on the floor of the House concerning real-time situation, real-time problem that Kenyans are having. And I remember having a conversation with someone who is a colostomy bag user, and he was going through a harrowing moment. And when he shared with me, I felt like that as a legislator I need to do something.
This is a win for the people of Vita and Mombasa at large, and many more to come, that someone from Vita and Mombasa can be able to represent in Parliament and win such awards from an institute like Zalendo, which has been a watchdog of parliamentarians for quite a long time. So yeah, our reports have been harsh enough we can comfortably say that people can be afraid. I don't know who's going to come after me.
So I was nominated this year in the category of environment and natural resources, because I did a motion on the integration of climate education in the school curriculum, which passed, and we are trying to push Ministry of Education in their next change of curriculum, which they do after every so often, when they are changing textbooks, that they will have climate education in the books at all levels of education. So most of our laws in the Senate are to grow counties.
And we've been working with Mzalendo in terms of mainstreaming legislative work and strengthening the capacity of parliamentarians to deliver on their agenda. And particularly this event, it comes in as a very good opportunity for members to be recognized for the good work that they're doing in the different sectors of SDGs. For example, I'll take like mental health, which SDGs caucus has been passionately promoting. You can see Senator Kasanga was honored today for that work.
It's the first time that we are doing an actual event, but in terms of awarding winners, we've been doing this since 2014. Today, 9 categories have been recognized, from environment to energy, education. We also had special categories on mental health and the fight against corruption. And the Fight Against Corruption Award is especially apt because today we mark the International Day Against Corruption.
A 40-year-old man was knocked and killed with a bull in Mtetemo village, Mumias East in Kakamega County. The charge killed the man in a bullfighting event. This is the second incident after the other bull killed another man a few days ago after stepping on his chest and poking out his eye. Cases of bulls killing people have been on the rise in recent times as bullfighting witnesses a sharp rise in this festive season. The bull was killed by angry residents.
Wakati ng'ombe iliona tu huyo Joseph Opanda ako pale, ng'ombe ilimfuata mbio. Sasa ikapiga hivi akaanguka mbele. Ikafuata na ikatunga hapa paka roho ikatoka.
Nilisikia tu nduru nje na nikatoka nje haraka, nikajiuliza nduru ni za nini. Kutoka nje kufika pale nikaona mzee wangu amelala pale, nikakimbia kufika hapo nikapata ameshakata roho.
Na kimila hiyo ng'ombe itauawa na tutaiua leo. Haiwezi tena kubakia kuua binadamu. Hiyo sasa inakataa kukaa na binadamu kama sisi.
Na hiyo ng'ombe vile vile wakati inapokatwa ngozi yake haitachunwa. Kila atakayefaulu kukata hiyo nyama ama hiyo ng'ombe ataenda na kipande cha ngozi, na kabla aende nayo atachuna matawi, atagonga kwa hii nyumba ya marehemu na akitoa matamushi ni kama analaani. Kisha baadaye tutakuwa na wakati wa kutakasa, ile tunaita kwa Kiluya urusola.
Ningependa ile kitu ambayo ilikuwa inafanywa wafanye hiyo kitu, alafu hii boma liwe safi, kwa sababu tukiwacha tena maneno mengine itatokea. Hii ng'ombe tulikuwa tumenunua imemaliza hapa wiki moja na nusu. Kulingana na vile nimeumia, mambo ya zusurusi hapa kwangu, mandume hapa sitaki. Kwa hivyo moja imeenda na hii nataka iwawe.
Tulipoileta roho yake haikutaka kupigana na hiyo ng'ombe, yake ipigane na hiyo ng'ombe. Akasema fungua ng'ombe yako ulete kwangu tupiganishe. Mimi nikamwambia hapana, acha tupiganishe kwa hiyo shamba yenye miwa iko. Akasema hapana, leta tu kwangu. Na nikatoka hapo nikaenda kuambia Fadhe Panda amekubali leo tutesti ng'ombe zipigane. Kwa na ng'ombe meja, michezo wanga inafanyika Shibuli tarehe 26 na tukafurahia hiyo michezo. Na ndiposa tukakuwa kwamba tutafuga tu ng'ombe kwa michezo ya kupigana kwa furaha, sio kwa faida nyingine, lakini wanga tunaenjoy ng'ombe zikipigana.
Fahali wanapopigana utaona watu wako hata sio mita moja, wengine wanagusa ng'ombe wanapopigana, na hiyo wanahatarisha maisha yao.
We realize that when animals are taken to wrestle, they are wrestling in a free atmosphere, and when an animal is defeated, it runs for its safety, and when it's running for its safety, it goes into a group of people. So when that happens, we should have security such that the place where they are wrestling from is well fenced, so that when an animal is defeated, it takes a different direction, so that it does not interfere with the lives of.
And as the mood changes to a festive season, many are streaming to their favorite places to have an ample time and enjoy with their loved ones. Zuri Resort in Bungoma town has unveiled several services to their customers this festive season. Let's have a look.
The wave has now changed to a festive season, which indeed needs a cool and serene environment to enjoy, relax, and make joyful moments either individually, with your family, or with friends, with the aim of making the day or marking the event. Zuri Place, located in Bungoma County along the Webuye Malaba Road at Kandui, is the best and serene home to be, as it is situated along the road for easy accessibility with a cool and conducive environment, which provides the best service ever in this Christmas season.
My name is Mary Waweru. I'm the supervisor at Zuri Place. Zuri Place is a sports lounge which is located along Webuye Eldoret Highway. It's just 1 meter from the main tarmac road.
Zuri Place provides many services, among them being many kinds of foodstuffs which imitate the Ugandan and Kenyan culture, like well-prepared matoke among others, as Mary Waweru, the main supervisor, narrates.
At Zuri Place, we offer both drinks and food. Food, we majorly on Ugandan food and Kenyan food. We do matoke, nyama kausha, which is also known as lia. We also do katogo, we do malaya, we do gina sauce, and many others. The Kenyan food, we just do the obvious varieties. And our food is pocket friendly. We also do drinks at affordable prices. We have
This makes Zuri Place to be the best place to be in terms of accommodation and any other service needed in this festive season.
At Zuri Place we have a spacious hotel which you can also hold parties, conferences, meetings, etc. We also have cocktail lounge where we do different varieties of drinks. We welcome you all during this festive season at Zuri Place.
Antonio Sundwa, Maisha Prime, Maisha Television.
Well, I'm taking a commercial break. I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hammersmith.
Is live from Damascus. We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV, for Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Welcome back, and let's kick off with some politics from Western Kenya. Western leaders faces unity test ahead of 2022 polls contest, with Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa set to unveil his own political vehicle. Wamalwa's new party will join the ODM boss Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja movement, ready to wrestle with ANC boss Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula of Ford Kenya, perceived to be the kingpins of Western region. Our political affairs reporter Antonio Sundo with more details on that story.
We've been waiting expectantly from our two big brothers in Western Kenya, the Honorable Musalia and the Honorable Weta, to give direction. And so far, they don't seem to have agreed even on the presidential candidate of Oka. But after the launch of Raila Odinga's bid, and of course William Ruto has already been all over the country, it is clear that this race is shaping up into a two-horse race. So tonight, meeting the jurists, Western professionals here in Nairobi, I've told them we're running out of time, and unless our two brothers make up their minds, Western is likely to move on without them. For us to say we stay in the middle in Oka, when clearly all Kenyans can see the two horses that have bolted, they are gathering momentum. Politics is about perception. Politics is about perception. And the perception that is there today in Kenya is that the next president is either going to be Raila Odinga or William Ruto.
Let's talk to our people. Let's sensitize them so that they can know it's important to register as a voter. It's important to come out and vote. More important, to vote for someone who has the leadership qualities that we desire, and someone who is actually one of our own.
I think we deserve these insults. Because how do you explain, for instance, that in Nairobi, we are 800 strong? In metropolitan Nairobi, we are 200 strong. How do you explain that we have less than 4 MCAs in Nairobi and only 2 MPs in Nairobi? And so when Honorable Tim Wanyonyi says that this time he's going for it, as Western jurists, we are clear in our mind that wherever he is, we will support him. We wish we were in the same party. But we must also understand that the dynamics are different.
And it is beginning to look like if our brothers remain in the middle, in the vehicle called Oka, and they have not even up to now agreed on who is going to be the flag bearer of Oka, yet the two horses have bolted and they're picking momentum, they're moving. And the country is beginning to actually choose between the two horses. Na nilimwambia Mheshimiwa Musalia, mkiendelea kusalia, mutafanya watu wetu wasalie nje ya serikali. It is likely to happen.
And in our education segment today, we look at Chebiusi Secondary School, which is situated in Kakamega County. Chebiusi Secondary School, located in Navaholo constituency in Kakamega County, is the school to watch out for, with a tremendous transformation in terms of academics, infrastructure, co-curriculum activities, and unveiling of several projects. It's a clear indication that the school is in a speedy transmutation. Speaking exclusively to Maisha television, Mr. Otieno Osori, the school principal, thanked the BOM, teachers and parents for contributing towards the success of the school.
May I also appreciate my predecessor, Dr. Boniface Okoth, for planting trees. So when I came around, I found a forest. Then I've always resisted cutting down the trees because I like forests, and I would wish that in the near future, the school should not buy firewood, but the school should cut down trees from its forest to use as firewood. In the same vein, the school has planted 1,600 more tree seedlings. And I want to appreciate Equity Bank for giving us 1,000 seedlings, and for the branch manager coming around to launch the tree planting. And that for the future, maybe the principal who will come after me will find it easier to save school funds which could have gone on fire.
The school deputy principal on his part highlighted the issue of students in discipline cases, especially at the time when unrest is being experienced in schools across the country.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Mwalimu Sumba Kasim. Mimi ni naibu wa mwalimu mkuu Chebiusi High School. Kazi yangu haswa, kama ambavyo ni kazi ya kila naibu wa mwalimu mkuu katika shule zote, ni kuangalia nidhamu ya wanafunzi. Ili wakiwa na nidhamu njema, basi mikakati ya shule, masomo yao na kila jambo katika shule litaendelea vile ambavyo inatakikana, kwa sababu tunajua bila nidhamu hakuna lolote ambalo litafanyika. Kwa hivyo mimi pamoja na mwalimu mkuu, walimu wenzangu, wafanyikazi wote wa shule tunashirikiana kwa njia mbalimbali kuhakikisha kwamba kuna nidhamu ya kutosha ili shule yetu iendelee vile ambavyo inatakikana. Hapa shuleni kuhakikisha kwamba tuko na nidhamu nzuri, kwanza kabisa ni kuhakikisha kwamba kuna maelewano kati ya ofisi yangu na wanafunzi, ili wajue kwamba mwalimu mkuu na naibu wake na walimu wanataka nini. Kabla hawajaelewa hayo, hawatajua njia ya kufuata. Kwa hivyo tunawaambia takana wafuate barabara hii, na tunafanya hiyo maelewano na wanaelewa, ili wasije wakafuata barabara ambayo haitajiki. Kwa hivyo jambo la kwanza kabisa ni kuhakikisha kwamba wanaelewa tunataka nini kutoka kwao. Kwa hivyo hawezi kutudisappoint kwa kizungu. Jambo la pili, tunahakikisha kwamba fence ya shule, ua la shule ambalo linazingira shule, tunahakikisha kwamba limelindwa vizuri, pamoja na wale wanashikilia usalama kama maaskari. Tunahakikisha kwamba wanatusaidia ili tusikuwe na jambo lolote kutoka nje na kudhuru wanafunzi wetu, ama wanafunzi wetu kutoka ndani kwenda nje kuleta kitu ambacho kitaweza kudhuru wenzao.
The institution has also lauded the community for the support offered to the institution, with the teachers in charge of transport sector asking anyone in need of the school bus to visit the school for consultation with the school management.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Mwalimu Sodo Ben. Kwa hii shule mbali na funza, nimesimamia idara ya income generation, ambapo tuna vitengo mbalimbali kama transport ikiwa ndani mwake. Katika idara ya transport tuko na basi la shule ambalo tunalitumia kwa usafiri wetu hapa ndani kibinafsi, wanafunzi wakiwa na kongamano na wanafunzi wengine michezo, ambapo linatusaidia sana. Mbali na hiyo, ili basi linasaidia community around wakati wanapokuwa na sherehe mbalimbali, harusi, matanga na hata shule zingine wakati zinapohitaji. Tuna hiyo nafasi tunawapea ambapo wanafaidi kwa hilo basi. Hivyo tungependa kuwaombeni labda kwa ile community around the school ungependa kuhitaji matumizi ya hilo basi, tunakukaribisha kwa sababu lipo kwa
Moving on, journalists have called on the Independent Electoral and Boundaries and state agencies to ensure their security as the country gears up for the 2022 general elections. Speaking during the annual Scribe End of Year party in Kajiado, the members of the Fourth Estate maintained that as messengers, their work was simply to pass the message and they should not be targets of political parties and their operatives.
Lakini lazima wanasiasa watupatie nafasi ya kufanya majukumu yetu. Mara nyingi wanasiasa wanataka sana kuingilia kazi ambazo wanahabari wanafanya, na hivyo ningetoa mwito tu kwa tume ya uchaguzi na vile vile mashirika mengine ya serikali kama vile wizara ya mambo ya ndani kuhakikisha kwamba wanahabari wamelindwa wakati huu wa uchaguzi mkuu ili kwamba waweze kutekeleza majukumu yao kwa njia inayostahili.
Tunapenda kuwaambia wanahabari kwamba wasivunjike moyo. Bado kuna mambo mengi mazuri mbele. Kwa kumwamini Mwenyezi Mungu na kutia bidii tunaweza tukarudia hali ya kawaida ambayo tulikuwa nayo.
We come here together, also we celebrate each other. It has been a tough year. Journalists have been sacked, others have had pay cut. So we are also strengthening ourselves and encouraging each other.
Hii nchi ya Kenya tunahitaji wanahabari, tunahitaji kila mtu kuwa na nafasi ya kusema anavyosema na aseme kwa heshima na asikizwe na bila kuharas wanahabari kabisa. Huko tunataka tutoke kabisa.
Well, and now let's get My Hustle, My Life, My Story by Anthony Osundwa.
Life entails a day-to-day trial in any activity, be it in business, professionalism, or any other kind of hustle. The economy today is no longer stable following the effects of COVID-19 pandemic that left the country in a trial way, forcing every field to change the way of management in order to fit in with the new pandemic, which is in a restricted way.
Tukifanya mipango ya kitaifa ni jambo la muhimu sana. Tuhusishe wakina mama ambao wako kwa biashara katika sekta zote, kuanzia kule kwa kupanga mikakati.
This has been clearly evident with how traders are out to fight with the low economy to make sure they put something on their table at the end of the day.
But tunajaribu kujisqueeze tu ile kidogo, hata kama ushuru iko juu, tukiona mwisho tumepata ka profit kidogo tunashukuru.
On the streets of Sinoko in Bungoma town, Bungoma County, we met Gail Barasa, a saloonist who narrates on how she started her work as a saloonist from learning whatever her mother was doing.
Kwa majina naitwa Gail Barasa. Natoka Nzoia. Nimekuja huko kikazi. I'm a mother of two. I have a girl and a boy. Vile mmeniona hapa, mimi ni nasuka nywele, alafu pia nanyoa. Nikawa najichochea tu mimi mwenyewe, lakini mamangu alikuwa msusi na alikuwa ananichochea. Nilikuwa napenda tu kusuka, na wakati niliendelea kukua hata nikiwa primary school, nakumbuka wakati ukisuka ukienda shule utarudi na lines, utakaa na lines kama bado ziko neat. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu nitatoa moja moja nikijisuka. So hapo ndo niliendelea kugrow na Mungu akaniwezesha, akanisaidia. Kwamba sijaisomea, ni kipawa tu kutoka kwa Mungu. Na nakumbuka wakati nilianza kusuka nywele, nilianza kama mimi bado ni mtoto mdogo, nikawa nasuka tu nyasi hivyo, nikawa na hiyo interest sana. Na vile niliona niko na hiyo moyo sana. Sasa hivi nimefika kiwango kikubwa sana, hata wasomi wanifiki. Sio kujigamba, lakini hata wasomi wengi hawanifiki. Kwa sababu kuna neema tu Mungu ameachilia kwangu. Kile tu nikisimama tu hivi, nikitaka kufanya kitu nisimame tu nione tu nafanya aje. Na ninakuja na apply na ninafanya perfectly well.
Gail also narrates on some of the challenges she has been facing as a small-scale trader, among them being the issue of licenses and how she has been coping up with this particular situation.
Changamoto kubwa sana, especially hii maeneo ya huku, bei. Sana bei ya kushuka. Ukiambia mtu bei fulani, anataka urudishe chini sana. Inakushusha because kitu kama labda style fulani iko na kazi mingi na mtu hataki kuelewa. So wakati mwingine inashusha sana kwa watu wenye hawaelewi hizi styles iko na kazi. Labda hiyo tu sana. Ushuru tunakatiwa, ingawaje tunapewa bei ya juu sana kwa salon. Ushuru tunakata like 6,000 salon peke yake. So unaona iko na kinyozi tumekata 11,000.
She urges the national government to lower the license rates to give them a humble time in their business.
Ni ombi langu kwa serikali ya county na serikali ya Kenya, na hasa sana serikali ya county ya Bungoma, ya kwamba mtaangalia maslahi yetu wanabiashara, hasa sana wasusi, maeneo ya mashinani, kwa sababu bei iko duni na license tunakata pesa mingi sana na inatofinya. So ni ombi langu ya kwamba county government itaangalia maslahi yetu na itusaidie, na pia sisi tukaweze kufurahia kazi yetu. Tusiweze kuregret kuona kwa nini tumepatikana kwa kazi kama hii ambayo haileti matunda mazuri.
Gail urges her fellow partners in the field of trading to always try it out and always be prayerful.
Siogope. Hata sisi tulianzia chini, tulianzia kwa vibanda na Mungu ametufikisha hapa. So msiogope, jitieni moyo, mjue ya kwamba mtafika mahali pazuri. Mungu atawawezesha. Kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu, Mungu atawawezesha. Kuwa na passion, endelea kufanya tu kazi.
Real hustlers will always tell the best story, and if you want the best story, then engage with real hustlers. And that's why as Maisha TV we engage with those who hustle, with an aspect of sharing ideas in any other hustle, with a goal of empowering the economic development of the nation. For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Anthony Osundwa.
And with that, I've closed the bulletin, Maisha Prime News. That's all we had for today. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.